Angela looked at Emily. Her eyes is filled with anger and pain. She couldn't hold it anymore any longer. Emily, I have told you several times to leave this shit of a husband, Angela said firmly. But you keep saying it's because of your children. Look at you, Emily. You get slimmer every day all because of that devil. Do you want to die before your time? Emily shook her head slowly, tears still falling. Despite everything, Angela, I still don't want my children to grow up without their father. If not for this attitude of his, he is a very nice man. He provides for us. He cares for his children. They will miss him if I take them away. Angela jumped to her feet and shouted, Ow, Emily, you will soon regret this. You are defending a man who hurt you emotionally. May God forgive you. She pointed at Emily angrily. I will never visit you again. Bear your pain alone. Then she turned and walked out of the house, slamming the door behind her. Emily sat quietly, her face wet with tears. She whispered to herself, You are right, my friend, but I still love him. At least he cares for the children. He is still their father, and deep down, I believe one day he will change. She leaned back on the chair, staring at the ceiling, holding on to the little hope she had left in her heart. Days passed, then weeks. Still, Michael refused to touch Emily. Every night, she would lie beside him in bed, hoping that maybe he would hold her, maybe he would turn to her, maybe, just maybe, he would remember she was still his wife. But he never did. Emily would cry quietly beside him in the dark. Tears would soak her pillow as she turned her back to him, feeling cold and unwanted. Her heart ached. She longed to be touched, to be heard, to feel like a woman again. But Michael never reached for her. Not a word, not a hand, nothing at all. And it continued for months. At first, the pain was deep. The silence between them was heavy. But slowly, Emily stopped expecting. She stopped crying. She stopped hoping for something that was no longer there. No tears, no waiting, no pain. She had gotten used to it, used to sleeping without being touched, used to lying next to a man who no longer saw her. She found peace in her own silence. She found rest in her own space. And though she still longed to feel like a woman, she learned to sleep without needing it. Michael kept enjoying himself outside, living his life the way he wanted, leaving his wife at home feeling lonely and forgotten. Day after day, night after night, 6 months passed, and all in that time he never touched his wife. Not a hug, not a kiss, nothing. But one fateful night, everything seems to change. That night, Michael came close to her. He touched her gently, kissed her softly, and romanced her with passion. He made her feel like a woman again, fully, deeply, and completely. For the first time in months, Emily felt the warmth of her husband's arms and the love she had longed for. The next morning, Emily woke up with joy in her heart. She felt loved, satisfied, and so happy. Finally, her husband had touched her. Finally, he had made her feel like a woman again. Throughout that day, she was filled with joy and happiness, smiling to herself, believing that her husband had truly changed. But what Emily didn't know was that he hadn't changed for the better. He had changed to the worst. Michael kept on having countless sex with his wife. Every night, he touched her, kissed her, and made love to her. He acted like a man who had changed. Emily was so happy. She believed her husband had finally come back to her. She felt loved, wanted, and fulfilled. Every day, she smiled and thanked God, thinking her marriage was finally healed. This is the man I prayed for, she told herself. He has changed. But then one day, Emily fell seriously sick. At first, she thought it was just stress or maybe she was overworking herself. But things got worse quickly. She became weak, tired, and lost her appetite. Her body didn't feel the same anymore. She knew she had to go to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor ran some tests and checked her carefully. After a while, he came back with a serious face. "Madam," the doctor said gently, "we found something in your results." Emily sat up worried. "What is it, doctor?" "You are HIV positive," she said quietly. Emily blinked. "What? But I am married. I have only been with my husband." The doctor nodded sadly. "Yes, this kind of infection doesn't come on its own. It passed from someone who already has it." At that moment, her heart broke. Tears filled her eyes. Her hands began to shake. She felt cold all over. She thought of all the nights she gave herself to her husband with love and trust. And now this. She couldn't believe it. Her husband, the man she forgave, the man she welcomed back, the man she thought had changed, had brought her pain instead of love. She sat there in the hospital room, crying silently, not just because of the sickness, but because of the betrayer. Emily stood up slowly, still crying. Her legs felt weak, but she managed to walk out of the hospital. Her heart was broken, and her chest felt heavy with pain and betrayal. Tears kept rolling down her face as she walked her way home. When she opened the door and stepped into the sitting room, there he was, Michael, sitting on the couch, relaxed. Without even thinking, she shouted, her voice shaking with pain. "How could you, Michael?" she screamed. Michael looked up surprised. She stepped closer, her eyes filled with tears. "How could you do this to me?" she cried. "I went to the hospital. I am HIV positive. You gave me this? I thought you had changed. I thought you came back as the man I married years ago. But instead you brought me pain." Michael's face changed. He went pale and broke down in tears right there on the couch. "Please, Emily," he said, crying. "I am so sorry. Please forgive me." Emily stepped back, shaking her head. "So you knew about this?" she asked, her voice low but sharp. Michael couldn't answer. He just covered his face and cried harder. Emily stood there, broken, staring at the man she had once loved, the man who had destroyed her trust, her body, all in the name of pleasure. Michael looked up slowly, tears still in his eyes. "Yes, Emily, I know," he said quietly. "The first night I made love to you was the same day I found out I was infected." Emily gasped, her hand covering her mouth in shock. "I am sorry," Michael continued. "I know you are the one who can stand by me. I know you are the only one who truly loves me, and I didn't want to lose you. That is why I did what I did." Emily stood there in silence for a moment, staring at him as fresh tears rolled down her cheeks. Then she shook her head slowly, her voice filled with pain and anger. "I don't blame you, Michael," she said, her voice trembling. "I blame myself." Michael looked at her, confused and broken. "Yes," she continued, "I blame myself for tolerating you all these years, for forgiving you over and over again, for staying back just because of our children." She wiped her tears with the back of her hand, her voice rising. "Now look at what I have gotten in return. This sickness, this pain, this betrayal. How I wish I had listened to my friend. Maybe then I wouldn't have been infected with this." After some moments of silence, Emily wiped her tears, stood up slowly. Her heart was heavy, but her voice was strong and said firmly, "If you are a married woman out there, never stay with a cheating husband for any reason. Leave him," she continued, "before he destroys you completely, the way Michael has destroyed me. Michael looked up at her, still crying, but Emily didn't stop. Don't stay because of the children. Don't stay because you are afraid of what people will say. Your peace, your health, your life, they matter too. With that, she walked out of the room, her steps slow but steady. Please subscribe, comment and like.